Welcome to Mainland Cycle Center's new vehicle department. Today we're going to take a look at a brand new 2012 Kawasaki Versys. This one, of course, is in the black. Really great looking bike with all the blacked out stuff on it. You know, the Versys is a unique motorcycle. I guess unique is the way to say it. Kawasaki classifies it as a dual-purpose bike, but it's a little hard to kind of peg-hold this bike. It's a little bit of a sport bike, a little bit of a standard, a little bit of a street fighter, and a little bit of dual-purpose, kind of all built into one. This bike has been very, very popular over in Europe, and it's had pretty good success here in the United States. It has some of the unique things about it that make it different from a regular, say, our Ninja 650. This bike, the Versys, the Ninja 650, the ER6N that we used to sell, are kind of all cousins. They have a very similar chassis, similar motor, similar setup on them, but they're all a little different. But of course, the Versys has about twice the suspension travel of a normal street bike like the Ninja 650. It's about twice the suspension travel. It also has the inverted front forks. The inverted front forks, what that means, for some of you may have heard that and didn't really understand what that means, is if you see here, the chrome fork slider, the piece that moves, is here, and then the heavy aluminum part is up top. A lot of times what you see is this piece clamped up here and the aluminum piece down the bottom, like on the cruisers. But by inverting them, this is stiffer than this piece, more rigid, so there's less flex in the front end. So it just gives you a better feel, better suspension with that inverted front fork. Got dual disc brakes on the front. And it's got these pedal style rotors, so it's got these little cuts in the rotors here. Those little cuts allow for more surface area to dissipate heat. They don't just do that because it looks cool. But and the same thing with the holes drilled in it. Lighter weight, plus it helps dissipate heat. But you've got two piston calipers, dual calipers with two pistons. These are liquid cooled. They're a twin cylinder 650. You can see exhaust pipes here. Very cool looking, and this bend in them. Very sexy looking, in my opinion. And so that's kind of that header. You want those to be the exact same length. And they've got this little connector tube here. That little connector tube in the exhaust allows for a little smoother power band on them. We talked a little bit about the motor. Again, it's a 650cc. It's a parallel twin. It's very compact motor. It's dual overhead cams. You've got intake cam and exhaust cam. There's 4 valves per cylinder. These have a manual clutch, of course, with a manual transmission. And these are a 6-speed transmission. And this uses a stacked transmission shafts, which keeps the motor very compact. And then it has a cassette type transmission. And what we mean by cassette type transmission is that on the older style bikes, in order to access the transmission on those bikes, you had to remove the motor from the frame, completely disassemble the motor to access those transmission shafts. This bike has a cassette type transmission. If you pull this clutch cover off and then pull the clutch out, you can pull the transmission outside of the bike. You'll probably never have to do that, but for ease of access, if you ever do, you can, which is cool. Alright, you got your muffler right under here. Here's your exhaust outlet, nice and low. One of the cool things about these bikes, they have this, it's a steel frame, but it's a trellis type frame. So you got this triangle here, and then the frame does not come on down around the motor. The motor is a stressed member of the frame, and so there's no frame coming down around the bottom of the engine. The frame is kind of all up here. You know, then you've got aluminum swing arm here. You can see your rear shock there, everything's kind of in line there. Rear disc brake with a pedal style rotor on the back. It's a single piston caliper on the back. They make a lot of accessories for these: hard bags, engine guards, trunks. That comes standard with the grab handle. It's got a nice, big, comfortable seat, so a little bigger seat than what we would see on like the Ninja 650. Your windshield has a little bit of adjustment. You can move this windshield up a little bit from its current position there. A little look at this side of the motor. I'll try to give the camera a minute to focus. There you go. chain drive. These are fuel injected. I don't know if I said that or not, but these are fuel injected. Got an analog tachometer with a digital readout on the speedometer. And I'm sorry guys, this bike is not serviced, so I'm not going to be able to turn it on. But you've got your, it'll have speedometer, it's got a fuel gauge, clock, odometer, trip meter, that kind of stuff. Handlebar controls, you've got your engine off and run, your start button, front brake lever. It's got the little dial here where you can adjust the reach from the grip to the lever. That's what that little dial is for. And the same thing on the clutch, you've got the little dial, you can adjust the reach. This has hazard lights, so there's your hazards, high beam and low beam, your turn signals, and then your horn button there. You do have some adjustment on the suspension. You can adjust the suspension there. You know, this bike's done very well critically in the magazines. It's won some awards, Bike of the Year from one of the magazines, and it's done really well. The guys that have them just love them. It's a very unique bike. I always tell people this is not the kind of bike that when you buy this bike, a lot of people don't get it. And I'm not trying to pick on anybody or anything like that, but the sport bike guys, if you're a sport bike guy, this is not what you're going to go for. If you're a Harley guy, this is probably not what you're going to go for. Most of the guys I see buying this bike are just real guys that like to ride. And they're not about making any kind of a fashion statement or anything like that. They just enjoy having a bike that's very nice to ride. And good bike for commuting. You can tour on this bike. I don't know if this is a great bike for touring two up. You certainly could do it, but a bigger bike would be more comfortable with that. But for solo touring, this bike is fantastic, especially if you add that hard luggage to it. And of course, you can put soft luggage on it. But you know, I always tell people it's not the kind of bike that when you pull up to Walmart and park, that somebody's going to walk up and go, "Wow, nice bike," because most people just don't get it. But definitely a cool bike in my opinion. All right, well there you have it. That's a pretty quick look at the 2012 Kawasaki Versys in the black. There's also a yellow and black version of this one. We haven't gotten one of those yet, and I actually thought it was kind of cool looking, but I think the black is probably going to be the most popular color. All right, there we have it. So we are Mainland Cycle Center. We're located about 30 minutes south of downtown Houston, just off of I-45 in LaMarque, Texas. Our website is mainlandcyclecenter.com. Our phone number is 409-948-4969. Give us a call, shoot us an email, come by and see us. We'd love to help any way we can. Thanks for watching.